Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video by Lost in the Ozarks. In this video we're going to prepare Asian inspired pepper steak, and we're going to use some of our oyster mushrooms we raise here on our small mushroom farm at Lost in the Ozarks. This is a dish that marries the tenderness of perfectly cooked beef, the umami goodness of mushrooms, and the crunch of fresh vegetables. And the best part, this dish doesn't just taste good, it's actually good for you. So let's get started. First, I'm going to get a fire going in the wood stove in our outdoor cooking area. We use this for cooking when we don't want to heat up the inside while cooking when it's really hot outside. It also gives us a little extra room for the camera and other equipment when we're filming one of these videos. First, let's get our rice started. Rice is great to serve with this dish, and we serve the pepper steak over a bed of rice. Serving it over rice also lends to the Asian taste of the dish. While we're preparing the other ingredients, we'll let the rice simmer. First, we'll mix up the sauce. Combine water, soy sauce, or if you prefer, and like we do, we use teriyaki sauce, so just use whichever one is better for your personal preference. Rice wine vinegar, beef bouillon paste, and sesame oil. We also made use of the water that was used to rehydrate the mushrooms. Don't throw that water away. Make use of it in your cooking to add mushroom flavor to any dish. You can freeze it for long-term storage if you aren't going to use it right away, and you can also substitute garlic powder if you don't have fresh garlic on hand. Finally, to thicken the sauce, we use 2 tablespoons of our mushroom powder, and you can also use cornstarch if you don't have mushroom powder. First up, we'll prepare the bell peppers. If you want to add some extra color, you can buy red or other colors of bell peppers. We had fresh green bell peppers from the garden, so we use those. We always opt for fresh vegetables from the garden over buying them in the store whenever possible. Cut the peppers in half and remove the seeds and pits. Slice them to your preferred size and place them to the side. Next, we slice up the onion. Slicing it thinly ensures that its natural sweetness gently infuses the dish, harmonizing with the other flavors. Remember, the key to the perfect slice is a sharp knife. A little bit of finesse goes a long way in crafting a visually appealing dish. One thing I want to mention about rehydrating mushrooms. Use water at room temperature from the tap to rehydrate your mushrooms if you're using dried mushrooms. The reason you don't want to use hot water is that using hot water will partially cook the mushrooms, making them tough and chewy. So save the cooking from when they're placed in the skillet. This is where we add our own twist on this recipe. We had some fresh banana peppers and jalapeno peppers from the garden, so we add those peppers for a little bit of heat and added flavor. You can always adjust this recipe and add ingredients to put your own unique twist. Now that we've got the vegetables and mushrooms mixed together, it's time to slice the beef. We're going to slice the steak into thin cuts so they'll sear nicely. Once again, the secret to getting thin slices is a sharp knife. I'm going to fast forward here because I don't want to waste your time watching us just slicing the steak. Now let's kick things off by heating up the skillet. We're using our outdoor wood stove to keep from heating up the kitchen inside. It's summer and we're in the middle of a heat wave, so we decided to do this outside to keep from heating up the house unnecessarily. Now it's time to sear the steak slices. Place the beef in the pan on high heat to give the slices a good sear. We've got about a pound of thinly sliced beef steak here. Just listen to that sizzle. For a touch of seasoning, a sprinkle of salt and pepper goes in, enhancing the natural beefy goodness. We're looking for that perfect sear, a rich caramelization that seals in the juices and intensifies the taste. And once our beef is mostly browned and beautifully seared, we're going to nudge it to the edge of the skillet. Or if you have a lot of vegetables, you can remove the beef slices while we get the veggies in the skillet to begin cooking. At this point, our beef is nearly there, tender and flavorful. Now we add the vegetables to the skillet and we saute them to make them tender and juicy. We want the flavors to mingle together, as well as absorbing some of the beef flavor from the juices left as we seared the steak. And we'll add another sprinkle of salt and pepper to add more complexity to the vegetable taste. You want to add salt when the mushrooms are close to being done. If you add salt too early, it can draw the water from the mushrooms, again making them tough and chewy. As the vegetables saute and mingle, they release vibrant flavors that meld together perfectly. Gently stirring and coaxing out the flavors is the secret to transforming individual elements into a cohesive dish. Now we want to add the steak back to the skillet and stir everything together to combine all the flavors. At this time, we'll add the sauce we created earlier and lower the heat to let all the ingredients simmer and soak up the flavor from the sauce. Here's a tip for those of you who appreciate a thicker sauce, a touch that takes your dish from exceptional to unforgettable. All you need to do is add a bit of our mushroom powder into the sauce. This will act as our sauce thickener, and it also gives the sauce an extra mushroom flavor kick. And if you don't have mushroom powder, you can always add in cornstarch as a thickener. Now, once we have everything simmered together and ready, we have our finished dish, our beef pepper steak with oyster mushrooms, and we're going to serve it over our bed of rice. Remember to make this dish your own. Try your own variations on the ingredients, from different colored peppers to red onions to other varieties of mushrooms. Thank you for taking this journey with us to cook beef pepper steak with oyster mushrooms. I'll put a link in the description to the recipe, and you can download a PDF from our website. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. It really helps us grow the channel. And be sure and be on the lookout for other upcoming videos. One you don't want to miss will be cooking chicken of the woods mushrooms coming soon. And as always, thanks for watching.